First things first, I want to clarify that I am not a professional. I do not have relationship to really tell you how to keep one with a woman. However, I can help you start something up, even if I myself haven't went super far with any women in particular. Uh, so let me be clear. I will only say things and methods that have helped me so far, and I will not delve into any theories or things that I haven't done myself. So, uh, first and foremost, a very underrated that thing that helps not just with conversations with women, but with really people in general, and it's something that I am not doing right now as I'm speaking, and that is to simply talk slower. You see, whenever you, well, I'm assuming, uh, and I would try to talk to a woman, or I don't know, how, or hold a conversation if she started it, whatever. We have this anxious thing where we just start rambling, and we say like 10, 15 word sentences in like 3 seconds. Now, what that gives off to her is that, well, you're anxious, and it's not a horrible thing because you're anxious, but it's because simply it shows that you lack confidence and that this conversation is just not gonna last long. Also, if you speak faster, you are, of course, more likely to mess up your words, your pronunciations, and the structures of your sentences. And since you speak faster, you will run out of things to say faster, which then will make you more anxious because you don't know what to say next, which then makes you more anxious, and the loop basically starts right there. And you definitely do not want to have that, especially when talking to a woman, because it's genuinely fun. Here's the thing. The main, and I'm gonna be honest, the only true way to fix this issue is right before having a conversation. It doesn't have to be long. Of course, speaking slower will make it longer. Now, don't say one word per second. But that's just annoying. Like, how could you hold a conversation like this? You know what I'm saying? Who speaks like that anyway? So it doesn't even matter. Yeah. If you speak slower, the conversation will last longer and will give you more time to think about what to say next. The best case scenario is where you don't even need to think. The words just kind of flow right out how they're supposed to be, and there's no stress. It's just a fun conversation. How do you do that is right before every conversation, just kind of take a deep breath through your lungs, in and out. Well, obviously through your lungs, but what I meant to say is through your chest. You see, a lot of people breathe through their stomachs, like try to inhale, but only focus uh, so that your chest expands instead of your stomach. See, that that makes a difference, and the reason I'm suggesting focusing on your chest is because a lot of us also walk in a way where we are kind of just like crunched inwards, where if we expand our chest, our shoulders will kind of retract, making us stand in a more upright position. It just gives off a way more of a confident look, and it just makes you feel more confident. I know that I've done that. It works to the point where I don't even need to focus on that. So, if you take a few deeper breaths, your brain is gonna think more clearly. It's a fact. The more oxygen you can supply, the better your cognitive functions are. I mean, try to hold your breath for as long as possible. You're gonna feel dizzy at some point. It's just a simple fact. And the reason why I say all this is once you do that, your mind just kind of resets and it helps you focus on the conversation without having any more like intrusive thoughts. So now you should be able to speak more clearly. Plus, if you speak slower, not just they, but also you will understand yourself clearer. So that's one thing that helped. It was pretty easy to implement, and it's just awesome. Next thing is how to move from topic to topic, or so look, I'm sure you and I, this one's for sure, we have had moments where we are talking about something and you both just kind of run out of things to add on top of it, or when you're like trying to get to know someone and you want to ask questions, blah 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 blah. The trick here is whenever you ask something and they answer, no matter how dry the answer may be. Now, if the answer is dry always, it's not on you if the conversation fails. Look, a conversation is with at least two people at once. Not everything that fails in the conversation is gonna be on you. So, when you're asking something, and they answer, try to think about like three things about what they said. For example, what example should I say? So, if their answer perhaps mentions a place, or when they were no, if their answer would hypothetically consist of a certain place, a certain time in their life, or a thing they mentioned they'll like, well, you now have options to push the conversation further. You can your next question can be about a place they mentioned, about the time in their lives that they mentioned, about something they'll like that they just said uh, briefly, and you can essentially repeat this thing like forever. Now, the key thing here is to not make our conversation sound like a fucking interview. What that means is that you are constantly asking questions while they're just answering. Sometimes some conversations can go like this if both sides of like, but in more casual or random conversations, you would want to avoid that, since you may get things to know about them, which will keep you interested in them. But since they're just answering and not really budging to switch the flow and ask you things, they have nothing to be interested about you, since they don't know anything about you. So sometimes you would want to like share your own experience about the thing that they have said. So for example, if it's some sort of a hobby or a place they went to, if you went to that place, or if you would even want to go to that place, share your own stance on it. This way, now you're speaking about things that that you you two also have in common, right? So now you know what's up, and they know what's up. When to do this? Well, that's just up to you. Thing is about conversations, you can speak in things you know in theory, but but but, but there is never a specific formula that you can follow to succeed in conversations every single time, which is why you will simply need to talk to more people to get more ex, ex, experience, to be more easy going, and to basically have conversations flow a bit better, easier, smoother, whatever else. And what I mean is, you will have to see for yourself. Some conversations will end in less than a minute. Simply, maybe because they need to go somewhere, or if they get too caught up in something instantly, or they're just dry, or if they're simply not interested. Some conversations can go on for 5 minutes or more, sometimes half an hour. It really depends on who you're talking to, what is your uh, goal when talking to them, and etc. Yeah, these are only two things, which is speaking slower and uh, using answer details and turning them into more questions and things like that. I know that's not a lot, but trust me, if you actually try and apply these things, it depends on how much you're gonna talk, but it can take you a few months, or just a few weeks, or even a few days to notice the difference. But between when you were struggling and from now on. So just just talk. I mean, again, this works not just with women, of course. I mean, uh, it works with everyone. Again, you need to understand that uh, in order for a conversation to happen, it needs at least two people. So not every conversation that gets cut short or fails is gonna be on you. You need to understand that because it can be very demotivating to talk again if you just beat yourself up with it. Okay, I mean, even these I myself get anxious and annoyed when some conversations kind of doesn't work out, even though I know that with the same person I have had and will have good conversations in the past and the future. So again, you'll just have to see how it goes. Okay. um I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could add, but honestly, these are the main things, and like, it's really not that complicated once you just start speaking, you know. Um, so I used to be horrified. Yeah, yeah, no, I'm still scared sometimes to like start up something. Not wanting to look awkward or whatever the fuck. But listen, these two methods are a huge reason why I even have a few female friends in the first place. As if I'd never used these methods into practice, I would be having a hard time with any kind of woman. So just don't overthink it, you know. Some bitches are gonna be bitches, and some ladies are gonna be ladies. It's a big difference. So yeah, that's about it, I think, for now. And 18 minutes of straight yapping, that's crazy. Yeah, I'll see you next time.